I've got my shirt on, which means we have won again. Wow. I'm Mark Rhodes, and this is my good friend, Mr. Craig Forward. How are you, sir?
Howdy, good to see you, buddy. Good to see you.
Oh, mate, what's going on?
It's always good to see you in that shirt. Always good.
I know.
Always good.
Yeah, it's usually the black hoodie, but it's not usually the black hoodie. And can we just say, before we go on, happy anniversary, mate?
Happy anniversary to you, sir.
Yeah, it's
It's been a journey.
It has. Well, let's put this into perspective before we go on to the Southampton game.
Let's start there.
Our first ever YouTube chat was the 3-2 defeat to them down the road, and let's just put this into perspective about how different the landscape is at Wolves from what it was then and what it is now. Connor Cody being substituted by Nuno, it looking like we were fighting relegation. It was just awful. What an awful day that was.
Well, to be honest, things haven't been that bad. It seemed to be the one that started the poor form and all the confidence. It never came back after that. I think that was the turning point, that game.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a strange one because that day Fabio Silva actually didn't do too badly. He scored a good goal. I watched it back the other day, and like you say,
took it really well.
It was like a team of misfits though, apart from that, and some dodgy decisions, and Cody got took off, and it was just horrible, wasn't it? And we were so excited to start this new thing, and then we were like, that wasn't what was supposed to happen.
Yeah.
But I was watching the game Saturday and thought, God, how far have we come? Like, I know it's a bit.
It's a roller coaster, as it always is, as a Wolves fan.
But bloody hell, like the difference. Well, difference is just.
What do you put that down to, Craig?
Well, obviously, the changing manager has obviously had a hell of a lot to do with that. There's a confidence now, I think, that's running throughout the team that definitely had disappeared under Nuno.
Yeah.
I think there's. Well, even though some of the same players, obviously people like Neves, Moutinho, Cody, even they're just playing with a newfound form of life. Whereas I think they were almost like starving, but under Nuno. So I don't know. I think that there's just a whole better feel about the place in general.
It does feel like that, doesn't it? It was like
we did have that with Nuno. I'm not Nuno bashing. We did have that, but
absolutely we did. Yeah.
So
it just went a bit sour during that season, didn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, that was definitely turning.
I just want to say evening to Vinyl Revival, Paul, 2011 evening. Evening to Alex Harris, to Diamond Sport, to Lucy Golden Girl. Lovely to have you here, guys, as always. I just want to ask you, Craig, first. I know we are 1 year old, Wandering Wolf. What's been your highlight during the first year?
Good question. My highlight. You mean apart from getting to chat to you every week?
Well, stop it.
Face on my screen.
You gorgeous man.
Jamie Dawn? No, it's not. It's definitely you.
I'm not. Well, this light's amazing.
Do you know? I don't know. I might have to have some time to think about that, mate. It's
okay.
Yeah,
I know my low lows has been.
There's highs and lows. Obviously, we've done some fantastic interviews, haven't we? We spoke to Tim Spears, Jackie Oatley, Nathan Judah,
Steve Ball, Jody Craddock.
Yeah, we've had some fantastic ones, and if you want to go back and watch those, they're on the channel. I mean, great chats, really good insight. Hopefully, get some more of those on the board soon. I guess those are all very good. But yeah, just to follow the team and get it off your chest. Good or bad.
I think that's the thing, isn't it? And that's why I love the way that we're doing it now, interacting with the fans, because the fans of Wolves, not necessarily the fans of us, but the fans of Wolves, and like just getting their opinion on how we played. And speaking of which, let's talk about our game against Southampton, because very, very strange game, incredibly entertaining for a neutral, I think. More entertaining than I've seen Wolves games recently. And I think that's because Southampton, they really came to win. I thought probably they were the better team in the first half. I don't think I'm saying anything out of turn there. I don't think they really troubled Jose Sarr in the first half. And I thought, obviously the goal was really welcome when it happened, because I thought Southampton were getting on top, and it kind of took the wind out of the sails a little bit.
Yeah, it took the sting out of it, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. Yeah, I can't believe that it took so long to give the penalty, because it was absolutely nailed on. He tried his best not to give it, but when they go over to the monitor, they tend to give it, don't they? So I think all's well. The first half, I think the second half we played better. I also think Southampton played better. I think it was a good game all round. I thought Moutinho had James Ward-Prowse in his pocket all game. Obviously, we have to talk about that worldie that he scored, because he didn't do anything else in the game but for that highlight reel moment. But what a goal that was! It's not the best goal I've seen at Molineux, but it's second or third.
People saying Jose Sarr should have done better, but he took that step, didn't he, to one side? And I don't think there's much he could have done about it.
I seriously, unless he was standing underneath where the ball was, he ain't getting there. He hit it so well that it was a really, really good effort, and also 3-1, I think, flattered us a little bit.
It definitely did. They had their fair share of chances, and I think we got lucky.
I really do.
In a way, but in the same breath, like, we deserve a bit of luck for a change, because usually it's against us, and for once it went for us, and that's swings and roundabouts. That's the way it should be.
Yeah, I have got a little bit of an apology to make, not to the man himself, because I'm sure it's water off a duck's back, like, but Adama Traore took his goal really, really well, I thought. About 2 minutes before, I was screaming at the TV and tweeting, "Get out my club, you're a disgrace."
I saw that.
And I just sent it, and he scored, and I was like, this is going to come back to bite me on the arse, and it did. But yeah, he took his goal very, very well. A much harder chance than the chance that he missed.
Yeah, but do you not think that sums him up perfectly?
Yeah. Oh, well, that's Traore in a nutshell there. But
your first tweet was absolutely spot on.
If that's the last thing he does for us, then fair play. He's gone out on a high.
Yeah, he's just added a few million to his price tag.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I'd much prefer him to go to Barcelona than to Tottenham, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
But I've got to say, I know he didn't save the free kick, but Jose Sarr, man, what a keeper!
Yeah,
God,
the guy's unreal.
Like the point blank save. It could have been 5-4 either way, but because of him,
I think he's a phenomenal addition, and I think he brings so much to the team. I think confidence starts from the back, and we were all worried about the back four and everything, or back five, whatever, before the season, and how we're going to fare, and we haven't brought anyone in, and like he is just brought in this. It just floods confidence throughout the squad. And
can we just talk about the Gomez, please?
Yeah.
Where the hell did he come from? What a performance!
Everybody was like, what?
Who?
Yeah.
Nobody got that starting 11 right. I can guarantee that.
Literally just slotted in, didn't he?
I'm confused because he brings back Sanderson for, I would assume, to be the situation where maybe it's because he didn't want to move Kilman.
Yeah.
because of how well Kilman's like. That's how cemented Kilman is in that team.
Yeah.
Like I thought again.
It was
Matt Kilman,
phenomenal.
He's unbelievable, isn't he? Like
But
just his reading of the game.
But mate, you can go through the team now, can't you? Jose
Yeah,
Sarr,
yeah.
Kilman, Cody. You know, even Dendoncker coming in had a good run. Podence has found his form. Neves is like a new player. Martinez, it's like every single one of them. It's like even Fabio Silva, for God's sake.
Yeah, yeah.
It's almost a bit too good to be true. Do you know what I mean? It's
well, it is literally what being a Wolves fan is like at the moment. It's like we could go back 3-4 weeks and say, "Oh God, I don't know. It's not looking great. It's not looking great here, is it?" And then now you think like a month down the line, you're thinking, "What's the problem?" Like Jeff, you know, he's not only is Bruno Lage getting the job done, Jeff Shea, he's getting the job done. He's
absolutely.
not spending millions and millions of pounds on. Well, let's put this down to very, very astute business and very, very good scouting, because what he's doing, he's bringing academy players and young players in, and he's moulding them. Bruno Lage, it's like he's giving. He is now.
I understand the frustration, but I can't have it. Against Jeff and the board and the way things are done, it's just brilliant.
Yeah.
It's great that we don't just go and throw money at it like other clubs and just because that's just a recipe for disaster. It's great to see some level-headed.
Everton, look at Everton.
Exactly. Yeah. Absolutely.
Spending money at the wall, like getting rid of managers, paying them off £10 million at a time, getting Roberto Martinez in. If that is a way that they want to run a club, then
they might as well be running it blindfolded, mate.
Mate, it is though, isn't it? It's a terrible way to run a business, and you know, I've been guilty of it. It's like just throw money at it, throw money at the situation, but it doesn't always work. Like you've got the situation with Villa, who actually, if you look at it, if Steven Gerrard wasn't at the club, then they're not making those two signings. But he is there, and he is like Coutinho at 75% of his ability from 3 years ago. Is an incredible signing. Like he really is, and he's
for where they are. Yeah.
Well, yeah, exactly. Like, and what's his name? Digne. Yeah, that's one. That's a great signing as well.
Brilliant, yeah.
Great signing.
Yeah. But they're doing things. They're doing things right, aren't they?
They are. But are they doing things right? Because we're buying kids from the Portuguese league for £3 million, like Chiquinho from Estoril in the Portuguese league. And why doesn't that work? That works. That's working.
Yeah. The thing with Coutinho and that is quite short-term solutions, which is what they need right now. I think. But what we're doing is, it's just brilliant. To be honest,
we're building a brand.
It's showing. It takes time, but it pays off.
Apparently, the Shrewsbury Wolf isn't agreeing.
Okay, go on then.
Let's have a look. Go on, you read this, Mohamed.
I'm slightly frustrated with the board because I feel we aren't focusing on the first team enough. If we aren't careful, we run the risk of the first team getting worse until the youth comes through.
It's like when you say stuff like this, and I get it, I do understand. When you say stuff like this, when we're 6 points away from the Champions League with 2 games in hand, I'm not slightly frustrated with anyone right now. I am enjoying watching Wolves play. I know, we're not as pleasing on the eye sometimes, but we've just scored 3 goals at home against Southampton. Like we're in a situation now where we are cemented in 8th place and looking above us.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm not frustrated with the board. Everything they've done up to now has been absolutely bang on the money because they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
They obviously know what they're doing because, you've got Paul. Yeah, let's go with Paul. Let's be like Newcastle and buy a 30-year-old Albion reject for £20 million. Talking about Chris Wood, right? That we would have loved Chris Wood a couple of years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what anybody says. Chris Wood have been great for us.
Yeah.
Before we bought Raul Jimenez.
Great striker. Great striker.
Great striker, scores 10 goals a season, keeps you up. We're not there anymore. We're at a situation where, like, even 10th now, I think with what's happening, the good feeling about the club and the way that Bruno Lage is being portrayed, I even think 10th place, people will go, could have been better though, couldn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's you know, you've got to enjoy what's going on at the moment. It's great.
I've got nothing bad to say.
I'm struggling. I mean, there will always be people that are with negative stuff, but you know, you've got to just think of what we've been through, where we've been, and what we're doing now is just enjoy it, drink it in.
Mate, what makes me think that they're getting it right is when they start bringing players like, you know, Gomez into the mix, into the first team mix, without anybody knowing. I don't care who you are following Wolves. Nobody saw that coming. There is a reason. There is a reason why they're doing what they're doing. It's a model that is working.
Yeah.
It is a model where you bring young players through and you don't spunk £200,000 a week on wages to players who are not at their best.
Yeah.
There's a process.
Newcastle are in a certain situation at the moment where they've got no choice but to throw money at it because their survival rests on it.
Oh, yeah, Newcastle.
And a 30 million, £20 million for a 30-year-old is...
He'll keep them up, though, mate.
It's not smart business, but I do think it will... I think it will keep them up. But
I think it will. And that is smart business.
So okay, fair enough. Maybe, yeah, you're right. That probably is smart business, but, you know, in a long-term thing, it's not. But if it ensures their survival this year, then that's that. But they're in a situation, their back's against the wall. They've got to do something about it.
Absolutely, mate.
We're not panic buying in January or, oh my God, we've got to do this, that, and hope and pray that, you know, we're just slowly going about our business under the radar. And I'm here for it. But personally,
I'm like, they're hungry. They're young.
It's great.
They want it. You could tell by the interview that Chiquinho did. Like, he really thinks he's going to hit the ground running. Yeah. And like Neto a couple of seasons ago, and bloody heard of him.
Do you think Chiquinho's going to go out on loan, or is he going to be?
No, I don't think. Not the way that Scott Sellers is talking. Like, he wants him in and around the first team squad, which suggests to me that Traoré is going to go.
Well,
they haven't said that, but it's kind of, he's an out and out winger, this lad. So it suggests that he's like kind of cover for him. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So is that to embed him in and get him used to it? Meaning that Traoré could be until the summer, or is it a straight in and out type of thing?
Do you think? I don't know whether Traoré is going to go in January. I think he might.
I don't think
he might go in the summer.
Yeah, I'm thinking more like summer now.
Yeah,
definitely.
Don't know. It depends who comes in for him, because, like I say, if Barcelona come in for him for like 20 million, he's just gonna.
Yeah, we should cash in definitely. I think, but what did we pay? Was it 18?
What for?
Traoré.
Yeah, Traoré. Yeah, 18. So he's got less than 18 months in his contract. Like,
so 20 million, I think. Yeah, I think.
I forgot about Mascara, Adam Wiggin. Yeah, like, look at no wonder we're getting rid of Bolly. Like, do you know what I mean? We've got Mascara coming back. We've got
he's been so unfortunate, hasn't he?
Nations. Like, I just don't think we need Botman, who's going to be like £80 million. Let Newcastle pay for that. We've got these kids, like,
definitely.
You know, and I know, you know, Alan Hansen said you can't win anything with kids. I don't necessarily want to win the league, Alan. I want to, you know, want to get to Champions League.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, Jim Bodley, lovely to have you on the show, mate. Let's have a look at this. I've got no issues with what we're doing. However, the greatest of all time is 35, Giammattino. And we don't seem to have a plan if either Neves or he are injured. Fair point. Donk is a million miles away from what we need. I agree with that as well. Midfield is the only worry. I can't argue with any of those points, Jim. To be honest, that is the one place that I think we need reinforcement. I think we need. We've spoken about this so many times. Like Renato Sanchez, needs to come to us. If
Yeah.
he comes to us, and that is the money that we spend, we will finish in the top 6.
Yeah. Bold.
Not even bold, mate. We're 8th already, and you've got a box-to-box midfielder with his capabilities, with Neto coming back. That's not bold. I don't think the way we're
Do you think
playing.
do you think it's got legs? Do you think he's actually going to come? Because there's starting to pick some momentum up now with this.
It's an Uncle George thing, isn't it? It's we need him to really, really, really get into his ear, because I
personally don't think Donk's a million miles away. Going back to that comment,
You love Donk now. You love him.
I think he's
too slow, mate.
He's not a world beater, but he's a decent player, I think, personally. He can do a job, definitely. Absolutely. He's not a million miles away, but there's better out there, obviously. But he can definitely do a job.
Well, let's say how much.
In saying that, if Moutinho or Neves was to go, or one go and one injured, we are struggling. So it is definitely a place. It's definitely more so than the defence for me, definitely at the moment. And a few weeks ago, you were saying like we need a striker, but I don't think probably do now, do it? When you think Neto's coming back and Silva looks like he's turned a corner perhaps a little bit.
I don't know how you pronounce his name, but Alex Harris, thank you, because I was thinking of this. Rike Puig. Let's go with that.
Yeah.
Puig.
Yeah, I saw that today.
From Barcelona on loan, and they reckon he's a younger version of João Moutinho, and I was like, okay, I'll take him on loan. What are you doing, Barcelona? You idiots. So yeah, just
well, I don't know anything about it to say, really.
I just love the fact that Barcelona have become a feeder club for us.
That's insane, isn't it? What
long may that continue.
Yeah.
I just think. What? Oh no! Christian Marcus has made me lose hope. Renato Sanchez has a new shirt number in the wake of Jonathan. Why can't they just be called Smith? Aconi's moved to Florentina. Sanchez has switched from number 18 to become Lille's new number 10.
No, I don't.
He was waving to the crowd. He was waving bye to the crowd.
I don't know about that. We'll see. Time.
I like this one. Well done, Paul. Yeah, if he was up to Craig, he'd play Dendoncker and Gibbs White in midfield.
And do you know what? What a duo that would be in the middle of the park. Oof.
Yeah, Neves on the bench.
Top 6, never mind. Top 4.
Yeah,
top 4 with that in the middle.
Fair commentary, Wolf. If he was a young Moutinho, surely he'd be playing for Barcelona. Yeah. I hear. Adam Wiggin, what do you guys think about playing Kundal and Jordan a bit more? We don't invest in a centre midfield. Yeah, this is the only part that I'm a little bit worried about. Not worried because we're doing all right at the moment, but I do concur with the feeling of if there is an injury to Neves or Moutinho or Dendoncker, we literally, senior player wise, we only have those two in the midfield. But I think Kundal, Jordan, he scored tonight for the under-23s. It was a cracking goal. But I don't know, from going from the under-23s to the I've completely switched now, haven't I? Because you had Gomez playing in centre defence. But who knows? Maybe that is what they're thinking, and why not? I can't begrudge him for wanting to save money when we're 8th in the Premier League and we're playing like we are. Yeah.
But well,
Right, let's talk about Adama Traore and if it's his last game. We've just said kind of that we kind of believe that it might be the summer now that he leaves. Does that not knock down his fee dramatically because he's only got 12 months left on his contract, or would you rather keep him until the end of the season and then, if a Barcelona or Tottenham come in for him, because I'd
Yeah,
quite like them to just fight over him and just add a few more million onto the price.
yeah. I mean, personally, for me now, we're halfway through January. I think keep him till the summer. He can do a job, and he will. As frustrating as he is, and whatever, blah blah, but he'll be able to do things like he did at the weekend. He will still blaze them over the bar from 7 yards, but he may well just pop up with an important goal, or he holds the ball up well, as I've said a few times. He does
took his goal really well, like really
well.
calm,
especially
really
after
calm.
just missing as well. I thought that was really good actually. So fair play. He kept going. He could have sulked after that, and he could have had his head down, and he could have just been a bit like distant, but he kept going. It was a vital goal in the end, really, because they were pushing and pushing and pushing, and could have easily been a point.
It feels as though we the powers that be wanting to sign the contract, and it's been on the table now for over a year.
We definitely shouldn't be giving him that sort of contract that he's been asking for. But I don't know.
It's a tricky one, isn't it? Okay.
I don't think they see him as that much of an asset to give him that sort of money.
Yeah, he needs to backtrack a little bit, doesn't he? And then maybe
if it was a bit more realistic in what he was asking for, perhaps it would have been sorted out by now.
Yeah.
You can't be demanding those kind of wages and things when you're not performing, can you? Really? So.
Yeah, but we'll see. We'll see what happens.
We shall see.
Yeah, it's okay. Let's go with Alex. What do you think of Trincão's performances the last two games? He's had better games, to be fair, but still, he had a better game, to be fair, but it's still a long way off. I think there's a player in there.
Yeah.
I still think he needs to do what Fabio Silva has done and go to the gym, because Fabio Silva's hold-up play has become brilliant. He did it again when he came on in the final 10 minutes. He held up the ball so well, and I think Trincão needs to do that. He's like, he just feels a little bit light. Like he's got some great tricks, and like even Podence, I think he's stronger. Podence is about 4 foot, and he holds off defenders better than Trincão does. He gets knocked off the ball far too easily, but there is a player in there. I really do rate him. But is he a player that we're willing to spend £30 million on? In this climate, I don't know. I really don't know. I think that's going to be a tricky one to finance. I think because I think they actually do rate him at Barcelona. So
it's going to be interesting. I think he's a nice to have, but at that sort of price, I don't know. Strange things happen, don't they? This month's going to be very interesting.
Yeah, Paul said about Kilman, man. That's so true.
This one,
yeah.
How mad is it that if Nuno had have stayed, Kilman would have probably become a championship player, and I wouldn't sell him for 50 million now.
I agree.
Absolutely right. Spot on. Yeah.
I think that shows you that we needed to get rid of Nuno, even though Nuno's tenure with us was at most part fantastic. We needed fresh eyes on players.
Yeah.
Because
he just went south, didn't it?
He did, and it does with teams, doesn't it? I think I really, really believe that Nuno wanted the best for us. It was stale for everybody. He didn't need to go to Tottenham, that's for sure. But whatever he does, maybe he'll go to Everton. Who knows?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? They wanted him before he went to Tottenham. So,
really?
Yeah.
Okay. Where is Nuno now? Is he just?
Hopefully
Off
on
the
a
radar
beach
a bit.
somewhere in Portugal, like
Yeah.
just relaxing, because
Yeah,
he's been through a lot, the bloke.
yeah. It could be time to get back in for it.
What?
If it could be time for him to get back in, but if
Oh yeah. Oh, they'll be.
if you're an Everton fan now, and you've got like, I think Lampard's been mentioned, Rooney was even mentioned. Probably not the same bracket, but similar. Would you go Lampard or would you go Nuno?
Out the two,
Mhm.
it depends.
Which
Like
way would you want to go?
long term, I'd probably go Lampard, but short term, to get them out the funk they're in, then Nuno.
Yeah.
I think he's a manager that gets you defensively. He sorts you out. Yeah, I think I love Nuno. I think
People
I've
are
got nothing
saying
bad to say about
that
him.
he's been spotted in Wolverhampton. I'm not sure.
Wow.
I'm not sure how true that is, but
No, I
maybe
think
he's
that
with
was
Mr. Miami.
the homeless man near the library.
So looking ahead to the weekend, right? Brentford away.
Well, this
What are you
is
thinking?
a big one, because have you heard that they've gone in for Ericsson,
Yes, yeah, I saw that today. Yeah,
which you know what is
bold.
an incredible signing for both parties, because if you're Ericsson, like it is crazy what happened to him, and like so unbelievably brilliant that he's actually going to be playing in the Premier League. Like, I don't know how long the contract is. I would imagine it's a short-term contract just to see how it goes. But yeah, best of luck to him and to Brentford. But after we play him, not best of luck to Brentford. No, Sodom. No. I mean, well, good luck to Ericsson. I don't care about Brentford at all. But
yeah, I mean, well, just touching on that briefly. I know Ericsson, obviously, he got the eyes of the world on him, but
yeah,
that's been happening more than once since.
with the heart.
Since like vaccines and everything
Yeah.
like that. I don't know how much you've read about that or what you think.
Oh, mate. Yeah, I do. Yeah.
I think that's going to be a big topic going forward.
I agree. Yeah, there's going to be a few people like going, "What the hell?"
Yeah.
At least it's worth looking into. It's definitely worth looking into.
Oh,
Jesus.
absolutely.
God.
Yeah, going back to Ericsson, Shrewsbury Wolf. He reckons Ericsson would do a job for us. Experienced, quality playmaker. It would also add up the numbers in our small squad. I was going to ask you about that before he commented, but what do you think about that as a possibility if it happened?
I think it's a real tricky one, that, because I think Brentford are taking a risk.
Yeah, I think so.
Which, I'm all for risks, but I don't know how does it affect the morale in the dressing room. That's why I really believe that we've got such a harmonious dressing room, because we've got no stars really. Jimenez doesn't seem to me like one of them players where he thinks he's bigger than the team, or Neves, or Cody definitely doesn't. He's the club captain, like he's been there through thick and thin. There's no egos there.
There's a few that probably could have an ego and they haven't, have they?
I agree. I completely agree. I think that harmony in the dressing room is really important for us going forward, and Bruno Lage seems to have that with them at the minute, and I think that's because we haven't got any. You could put Ruben Neves and Raul Jimenez in a different bracket, I suppose, but they just don't seem the type. I just think it's a short-term fix for a long-term problem.
Yeah,
and
probably well
Ericsson,
suited to Ericsson there.
yeah, he'll do a job for Brentford, but there's levels, and I don't think we're at that level where we need to bring in older players to fill in a role until the end of the season. It's not just Brentford that I'm talking about there.
Okay, just have a look at some of these.
What else have we got?
Yeah, basically, just what we're saying. What's the point in
Oh,
going it? So not for the long term, his wages would be too high. But I think it's more like it's more like the romantic story, isn't it? Rather than,
of course it is.
it's like,
Sells a few
he's
shirts.
back. It's great. I think
It's
it's a
good for
good fit.
everyone.
I think it's a good fit.
Yeah.
And I think, best off leaving that to other people. I mean, last time we played Brentford, was it Tony? Didn't he give Cody the runaround?
We always say this.
One of the first games. I think they were kind of like high on some
I think we're a
sort
different
of run,
team.
and I think we're completely different spectrums now.
Well, they got spanked by Southampton last week, 4-1, and then they lost to Liverpool 3-0. Like,
Yeah.
you
They've
know,
settled into where they should be.
I agree.
Yeah.
I completely agree. I think they'll be tricky. They'll be tricky because they're at home and stuff. But I really think we can do a number on them, like they did a number at us on us. Like
Absolutely.
that was the most one-sided game at Molineux I've seen for a very long time from an away team.
Yeah.
Like even the Liverpool game, like we defended for our lives, but with Brentford, it was like they cut us to shreds.
Yeah.
That was just it was vile.
Yeah. So can we actually go up to? Can we actually move a place in the table if we win on Saturday?
Let's have a look, shall we?
Is it just?
I'm just.
So I mean, that for me is it's quite an. There's no easy games, is there? But that's one that we should be winning. If we're looking at it now, we should be winning that. And then we've got what Norwich in the cup, and then a dodgy. Depends who turns up Arsenal team.
Well, Arsenal are a decent team, but they're only 4 points ahead of us on the same amount of games. Like Tottenham have got 2 games in hand. Yeah, but it is though, mate. Like we've got Brighton are playing Chelsea. Brighton are a place below us, 3 points behind. They ain't getting anything from Chelsea, I don't think. They might get a draw.
Yeah.
Like we've cemented 8th place. We're 1 point behind United. We're 2 points behind Tottenham. We win the game again. We go up to 6th place. Like,
yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Dreamland.
If we win our 2 games in hand, we go up to 4th.
Yeah.
Why?
Still have people complaining, mate.
Of course you will, mate. That's the thing. Like that's the thing about. I don't get it. I really, really don't get it. Like we can be a top 6 team with that squad, and if we get top 6 with that squad, Bruno Lage deserves a knighthood, not a statue. Like, imagine.
Well, it's just crazy to think that we're even talking about it, mate.
On 31 points after 20 games.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
Insane.
Right, who's your player of the month, boys? From Jim. Jose Sarr. I think
Kilman. It could be any one of 5 or 6.
I agree. Like, but Jose Sarr for me is like.
Yeah.
I just think he's kept us in games where, and he's got us the 3 points when we should really only get 1, or 1 when we shouldn't have got anything. I think he's an incredible goalkeeper. Like even against Southampton, every time he got the ball in his hand, he was running to the edge of the box, trying to throw it and getting our wingers.
Phenomenal.
Oh, it's incredible, man! Like Pedence is a good shout as well from Mitchell Davis. Yeah,
he's not player of the month. He's definitely shown a big improvement.
Yeah. But I'd definitely say that Jose Sarr is.
Yeah, Semedo's been playing class as well, isn't it?
You say the same about Oitneri as well. Like,
yeah.
I think Johnny's going to have a real problem getting his place back.
Yeah, definitely.
Imagine saying that a year ago.
Yeah, well,
Johnny, you ain't going to get your place in the team.
It doesn't get back in for me. It's going to be very difficult.
Who would be in an ideal world with everybody fit, healthy, formation as well? What would be your team? What would be your team going forward? Neto fit, Johnny's fit. Huh? Ruddy in
six.
6. Good. Excellent.
Well, obviously not Saturday, but the team that we've been playing, it seems to pick itself, doesn't it, at the moment?
Would you still play 3 centre backs?
I think so. It's working. It's not necessarily about the best team on paper. It's what's working, and that team and that system, and it's doing a job. You know,
I play Jimenez instead of Saiz.
No, I'd get Saiz back in there. I didn't mean obviously Saturday, but
you didn't mean it. I didn't mean it.
It's I think Saiz as well. Every player that I'm thinking of is just playing absolutely brilliant.
I don't think they've conceded a goal in the African Cup of Nations. He just hates conceding goals.
But yeah, it's very difficult to sort of say where the weakness is. You can see that like areas like midfield needs cover. You know, Jimenez has been off it a little bit, but we still, you know, we've just won 3-1.
I'm looking at like the actual the proper 11, like, and it just fills me with joy because my team, that's exactly my team. Shrewsbury Wolf. That is exactly what I was going to say. Neto, Podence, Jimenez. That 3 is ridiculous.
Yeah, you can't wait for that, can you?
That is ridiculous. Neves, Vitinho in the middle.
Where does Swang fit into that?
He doesn't. He doesn't fit in. He doesn't, mate, does he? He's a sub.
Yeah.
He doesn't get in instead of Podence and Neto. No chance. Like, look at that team.
Yeah, but you just hoping that Neto's back to, which he should be.
Mate, 80% Neto gets in that team. 80%. Like, he was.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, isn't it? Written down.
That 3, when they're playing to their best, he's a Champions League front 3. I can't even say because I'm so excited.
Yeah. And with Aitneri and Semedo push bombing on as well.
Yeah.
Incredible.
That's like anybody who says any different is crazy. That Jimenez, Neto, and Podence firing on all cylinders is sex.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
Just ridiculous. And look at the bench as well. We'd have.
I know. Well, do you think this could be quite interesting in the comments? But if Fosun, now, like, I don't think for 1 second that they will, and we're already halfway through, and I don't think that they will, because just based on history. But if they really wanted to get the wallet out, and really make a show, could we really push on and get sort of like to top 4?
Yeah,
and like really go for it. Or is it too risky? Is it kind of like dreaming?
Mate, I think we're a midfielder away from actually fighting for. If we had a fully fit squad, and you really look into it, we are a box-to-box midfielder away from our squad isn't worse than West Ham's.
Yeah.
When you get all of them on paper and you have a look at it, might be thinner, but you put it. I really, really think it's not beyond the realms of possibility. Now you've got that essence of what Bruno Lage wants. Like, I think, we're all saying, 4-4-2, 4-4-2. Like, maybe he's looked at the players that he's got and he's gone, that's not the right way for us to go. Maybe he's changed it. Maybe it is a three at the back.
Yeah.
And he still, that's the best way to go. We've conceded 15 goals all season.
Yeah. Well, I love to see Semedo and Aitneri bombing it up. Getting balls in and linking up with the front players. It's fantastic. So,
yeah.
If we can keep it.
Shrewsbury Wolf, he's keeping it real. And I do agree. The bottom one, mate.
Bringing us down to earth.
Yeah, we still only have 2 strikers. another injury like last season to one of them will be worrying a bit up front, as we aren't exactly scoring a lot now. Just scored 3 in our last game.
How many do you want?
No, I know. I get it. But
we've got Hwang out. We've got Neto to come back.
Yeah, Hwang and Neto. It's like
fine, all good.
Forwards, like I know they're not, but they're all like 8, 9 goals a season players, and you put enough of them together, Jimenez for me is the one that I know he scored his penalty, but we need him to start scoring more goals. Like
he will now.
I know he will. Yeah, I think we are so close. We are so close to having a season that we thought Nuno's season, both of them were great. This could be better.
Well, I think we're going to have a really good FA Cup run.
That's all I want.
Which will absolutely put such a buzz around the place after the last couple of years.
I agree.
Realistically, we've got a really easy tie the next round. Norwich at home. Just look at the draw, I know, but I don't think we should be fearing anyone in the competition either. I think we could go out and beat anybody and just absolutely play with complete freedom, not really worry too much about the consequences of pushing up and playing with a bit of flair and just going for it, personally.
Yeah. Interesting. Dutchy TV makes an interesting point here, which I concur. Yes, Raul, not only a great striker, he makes a massive difference the way we defend set pieces. Yeah, he certainly mucks in, and he doesn't mind, putting his head in the way of the ball, which, is incredible considering the circumstances of his injury. But I don't care if he's a good defender or not. I want him to start scoring more goals. And he hasn't been a great striker this season. He's been mediocre at best.
Yeah.
So I don't agree with that. I get where you're coming from. Like, there's more.
He is a great striker, though.
Yes, he is a great striker. What I'm saying is his form is mediocre at the moment. He is a great striker, and the way he took his penalty was fantastic.
Form is temporary, class is permanent, mate.
I agree, and he is class. He's the best forward that I've seen play for us at the highest level.
Yeah, that's it. We got you back.
No, I love him. But right, Paul, we stuck with the 3 at the back because we realised you can't ever take Cody out of the team. Too much of a leader and the heartbeat of our football club. I think you're probably right there, Paul. I think Bruno Lage has actually gone right. I need to reevaluate.
Yeah, that's true.
Here. I agree with that, but then Christian makes the argument, which I agree with also.
Back four would free us up dramatically with our abundance of attacking talent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would. But are you taking out the back 3?
It would be nice to have the option, but I think, why would you just what? It's working perfectly well at the moment. And who do you lose?
Well, sorry, he should be the guy that comes out, but the problem is with that is that you're taking the whole dynamic of why we were so good defensively, and also, what do they say? Goals win your games, defenses win your titles. So it's true because you start from the back, and if you're not conceding, you're not losing. So it's
it's finding that balance. It's good to be able to change it. I don't know.
Is Raul a legend at the club?
Good question.
No, he isn't.
Good question.
He isn't.
I think he is.
He hasn't been here long enough to be a legend at the club.
Yeah, I understand that. I think he's close. If not, I think he's very close.
What's he got to do to achieve legend status, do you think?
I think he needs a few more years.
Yeah, he does.
And
if he doesn't get his head turned,
and continuous form.
Yeah.
Perhaps take.
I don't think he's a legend. I think that's bandied about too much.
Do you?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, it's like Bully's a legend. John Richards is a legend. If we're talking strikers here, it's like I know he's achieved incredible things for his country, and he's scored at the highest level for us. But like, he's not a legend to me. Like,
Yeah,
not yet, anyway. Not
I get
yet.
it. I get it. I think there's a lot. I think that question would. You should put that out on our Twitter after. I think it'd be 50-50.
Interesting. Yeah, I think you're probably right
I think
there.
that's a great question.
Yeah.
I think he's very close, especially given. I know this doesn't contribute to his like the way he plays or anything, but what happened to him, the way
Yeah,
the
true.
way
Yeah,
everybody rallied round him and wanted him to do well, and the
yeah,
way he's kind of come back is a great story. That'll
yeah.
always be with us now.
I
He came
suppose you've
back.
got to take
He
that
came,
into consideration.
he came back and scored against Southampton after all those time out in the away game. Just I don't know. Plus his appeal. It's a different world now. He's got worldwide appeal. He's just a class top player in the world. I think he's very very highly rated, and he's stuck with us. He hasn't had his head turned yet, and I think if he could do another 1 or 2 seasons, he'd definitely be.
Christian is
Status.
absolutely correct. Would an FA Cup win a few years ago have changed your opinion on Raul? Yes,
Yeah,
it would have. He would have instantaneously been an absolute legend.
Yeah.
But don't get me wrong, I love him, and I think he will become a Wolves legend. But I don't think he's there just yet. But I concur with the situation why we should, a brilliant striker. I'm not talking skill levels. I'm talking the way he's perceived and how he will be perceived in 20 years' time.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
also, you've said before he's the best striker you've seen.
Yeah.
At the club, so I think that says.
Well, I've seen Steve Bull in his prime. I mean,
you've got a good few years on me, so you've seen obviously a lot more teams than I have. But yeah, obviously, Bully goes completely without saying.
Yeah.
But I think Raul's definitely up there.
I think he's done it at the highest level. That's why.
Yeah.
Consistently.
Yeah.
And that's no dig at Bully because he couldn't do everything himself. He couldn't get us promoted by himself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And Raul Jimenez has got better players around him. So, there's that argument as well. But we could talk about that.
Good debate.
It is a great debate, actually. Like Paul said, isn't it great that our dilemma is we're a midfielder away from the top 6 while Samuel Town can't string 2 passes together. Fantastic. Now, that is funny, but to finish off, we need our joke. And
Where is he?
Yeah.
Well,
he's up there.
Before we get to the joke,
he's someone.
Before we get to the joke, I just wanted to say, as this is our anniversary show, obviously 12 months on, 12 months ago we obviously lost that game, didn't we, to our friends down the road, and we beat Southampton 3-1. We're having this debate about whether we should be top 6. One midfielder away from being top 6, and they go and get a last minute battery, which is just fantastic. Like where we've come, that is
it's wonderful
highlight. You asked me what my highlight was. Well, just how far we've come, like that is incredible.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, to be the top Midlands team, 12 months ago, I would have gone, oh, well, we probably were still because Villa were terrible then. But it's just nice. It's just, I just think we're in a really good place at the minute. And I think the fans, most of the fans are getting behind it. You're always going to get a few people. But all in all, I think this is a good time to be a Wolves fan, and 31 points from 20 games is just a brilliant points total, considering how thin a squad we've got. And that's down to Bruno Lage and the influence that he's given everybody. So
Okay, are you ready for a joke?
I'm so ready for a joke. Ian, always good. And it's topical as well.
It's topical as well, not just
brilliant.
Just a silly joke. Right.
Would you like to say it?
I'll say it.
Go on. We always finish on the joke.
Why did Djokovic pay for his flight to Australia with a MasterCard?
Don't know.
Because his visa got declined. Excellent.
Truth in a joke
Topical
is
as well.
Always good. It's always good. As always, everybody, it's been lovely to chat to you. It is a great time to be a Wolves fan, Dutchy TV, and it's great to chat to you as always. So here's on to the second year of the Wandering Wolf YouTube channel and podcast. Thanks for being so, supportive of the channel. Keep supporting us. We are loving what we're doing, and fingers crossed, we'll just keep on getting bigger and better, and we'll try to get on some more guests. We'll try, and get more people on and chat to you all. It's all good. It's all good in the hood, man. And as always, Craig, it is lovely to speak to you. And we will be back next Monday talking about the Brentford game, and hopefully we can give them a spanking as well.
Absolutely, mate. Well, great to see you. It's been a good year. Bring on another one.
Good year. One of our best sponsors.
Oh, yes.
All right. Take care, guys.
Not
as good as that one. Distribution.
Oh, yes. Lovely.
Old school.
All
right. Take care, guys. See you later.
See you in a bit.